There was a day when the sky forgot how to shine, a day when the heavens wept and the earth rose in anger. And in the middle of that storm stood one man, an old prophet with trembling hands, a heart full of faith, and a world that refused to listen. He built an ark under a scorching sun while his people laughed and mocked. But when the first raindrop fell, they finally understood that mercy delayed is not mercy denied. This is the story of Prophet Nuh alayhi salam, the man who built hope in the desert and watched an entire civilization drown in the truth they ignored. And we carried him upon a thing of planks and nails, sailing under our eyes. Surah Al-Qamar. When faith becomes your ark, even the flood becomes a path to salvation. If these words reached your heart, then let your journey with us continue. Subscribe and walk with us through the stories of the prophets, through light, through trial, through the echoes of faith that still call from the ages. Each story is a reminder that even when the world drowns in sin, the believer's heart still floats by the mercy of Allah. Join this journey. Let faith rise again. Subscribe now and never let your heart forget. The desert wind moved slowly that day, carrying dust, heat, and rejection. Beneath the burning sun stood a man, old in years yet radiant with faith. His name was Nuh. For 950 years, his voice echoed through valleys and streets, calling his people to the oneness of their Creator. But they laughed, they mocked, they turned away, shaking their heads at the old man who warned of a flood in a land that had never seen rain. Nuh raised his hands toward the heavens. My Lord, I have called my people night and day, but my calling has only driven them further away. The Qur'an says, He said, My Lord, I have invited my people day and night, but my call only increased them in flight. Each dawn he would rise, his voice trembling with mercy, his heart heavy with love. And each dusk, stones and laughter would follow him home. This is the loneliness of those chosen by Allah. The world around him had hardened, hearts sealed by arrogance, eyes blind to mercy. Yet he never stopped, because prophets do not measure success by numbers, but by obedience. He would whisper to his Lord as night fell, My strength is gone, but you are Al-Qawi, the all-powerful. And so he continued, rainless skies above, unbelieving hearts below. Between them stood one man and the truth. This is the patience of a prophet, a light burning through centuries of darkness. And Allah was watching. Then came a moment unlike any before it. The silence of centuries broke when the word of Allah descended upon Nuh. Construct the ship under our eyes and our revelation. Surah Hud. The command was clear, yet incomprehensible to those around him. Build a ship here in the heart of the desert? But the prophet did not question. He did not ask why or how, for faith is not logic, it is surrender. Day by day, the sound of hammers and saws replaced the taunts of his people. Children gathered to laugh, men pointed in ridicule, women shook their heads in pity. What is this old man doing? They said. Does he think rivers will flow from sand? Yet Nuh continued. Each nail he drove was a declaration of tawakkul, trust in the unseen decree. Each plank he raised was a sermon without words. Under the watchful gaze of angels, the ark began to take shape, vast, majestic, and strange. The sun beat down, sweat soaked his beard, yet his eyes carried peace. Because when Allah commands, the impossible becomes destiny. As he worked, he recited softly, "My Lord, do not leave upon the earth a single disbeliever." His heart was no longer seeking acceptance, it was waiting for the command of judgment. Sometimes Allah delays the storm, not out of neglect, but to give mercy one final chance. And when that chance was spent, the heavens began to darken. Then it began. A sound unlike any before it, a trembling within the earth, a wind that carried the scent of coming wrath. The first drop of rain struck the dust and hissed like a whisper of warning. Then another, and another, until the sky began to cry in torrents. The Qur'an says, "So we opened the gates of the heaven with pouring water, and we caused the earth to burst with springs." Water rose from beneath their feet, bursting through the ground like veins of divine power. Wells became rivers, rivers became oceans. The world became a mirror, reflecting the anger of the one who created it. And in that chaos, the ark stood ready, a silent fortress of salvation. Animals came in pairs, guided by unseen angels. The believers, few, humble, faithful, gathered near Nuh. He turned toward them with calm eyes. "Enter it," he said, "for today the command of my Lord has come to pass." Thunder answered, lightning split the heavens, and as the last believer stepped aboard, the doors of mercy closed upon the ark, and the doors of punishment opened upon the world. The heavens wept, the earth rose, and everything that denied was drowned. The ark groaned upon the waves like a living creature. It rose and fell through mountains of water that reached the sky. Lightning flashed across a world that no longer knew light. Inside, the believers clung to faith, trembling not from fear of death, but from awe of Allah's power. Outside, a civilization vanished beneath the flood, their palaces, their pride, their laughter, gone, as if they had never existed. The Qur'an says, "And it was said, O earth, swallow your water, and O sky, withhold. And the water subsided, and the matter was accomplished." Through the storm, Nuh wept, not in triumph, but in sorrow. He had not desired their destruction. He had begged for their guidance. But hearts that mock the truth seal their own fate. Among those waves was his own son, distant, rebellious, calling from a mountain, "My father, I will take refuge on high ground." Nuh cried out, "There is no protector today from the decree of Allah, except for those upon whom He has mercy." And then a wave came between them, and he was gone. Even prophets taste heartbreak, but they never question their Lord. As the ark drifted through endless water, the prophet gazed into the storm and whispered, "O my Lord, in you is my refuge, and in your mercy is my hope." The night grew quiet, the winds calmed, and for the first time in years, the world slept in silence. Then came the decree. O earth, swallow your water. O sky, withhold your rain. And it was done. The waters began to recede. Mountains appeared like the bones of the earth rising from beneath the flood. The ark rested gently upon Mount Judy, a mountain that would forever hold the memory of salvation. Nuh stepped out, feet sinking into damp earth, eyes lifted to a sun reborn. The air carried the scent of beginning. The world had been washed clean. He fell in sujud, his forehead pressed to the new soil. My Lord, grant me blessing, for you are the best of those who show mercy. The prophet who once walked among mockers, now walked among believers, a remnant of faith carried through wrath. The silence of judgment had passed, the whisper of life returned. Birds circled overhead, streams began to flow again, and the wind, once heavy with destruction, now carried the scent of forgiveness. In that moment, Nuh understood. Every storm that Allah sends is not to destroy, but to purify. Every flood eventually births a garden. So when the skies darken over your life, remember Nuh. When the world mocks your faith, remember Nuh. When patience feels endless and hope seems lost, remember Nuh. For the same Lord who watched him build an ark in the desert can carry you through the floods of your own heart. Wasna'il fulka bi'ayunina, and construct the ark under our eyes. May we all build our arks, in faith, in patience, in love for the one who saves. Subhanallah wa bihamdih, Subhanallah al-Azim. The storm ends, but the faith remains. And when the storm had ended, there was silence. A silence so deep, it felt like the world was holding its breath. Mountains glistened with dew, the air carried the scent of forgiveness, and the ark rested upon Mount Judy, not as a monument of destruction, but as a testament of mercy. Allah saved faith so that it may rise again. From the wreckage of a drowned nation, a new generation would be born, one that would breathe again, walk again, and remember that there is no refuge from Allah except with Him. The flood of Nuh was not the end, it was the beginning of humanity's second chance. So when you find yourself surrounded by storms, when the waters of hardship rise around your heart, remember, every believer must build an ark within. An ark of patience, an ark of prayer, an ark of trust. For the same Lord who carried Nuh through the flood will carry you through your pain. And when the skies clear and the earth steadies once more, you'll realize the storm was never meant to drown you. It was meant to cleanse you. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. May the peace and mercy of Allah be upon the Prophet Nuh and upon every heart still building its ark in the desert of this world.